Do you think you have free will? Yes, sure, you just clicked on this video, but was that really your decision? Science shows that much of what we call our decisions is actually shaped by our biology. The same goes for happiness. You can chase it, optimize for it, but can you really be truly satisfied? Today we will talk about the science behind why we are never happy with what we have and how to deal with it. Think to yourself about the last time you thought to yourself, once I'll get this thing, I'll be finally able to do whatever I want. And after you got this thing, maybe it was a promotion, a relationship, a new phone, yeah, it felt great for a while. But after a few weeks, maybe even faster, it all turned out to be the same. And if you think this is weird, just wait to hear this story. There was this study in 1970s which wanted to check how people react after they receive a big amount of money. There was also a control group of normal people who didn't receive money. A year later, scientists decided to check both groups when it came to happiness. Those people who were measured after a year to just have the same level of happiness like the other group who won the lottery, they were actually accident victims. Yeah, accident victims. And their levels of happiness were pretty much the same. And you may think to yourself, what the fuck is going on? How is this possible? And of course, at first, it can seem counterintuitive, but if we look deeper into biology behind all of this, we can start to truly understand how this truly works. You see, in short, our brain is just a big fucking survival machine. We are programmed, so we are able to survive and pass our genes to the next generation. And to accomplish this goal, we need some sort of gratification system, which will be able to tell us if we do something good for our survival. This is exactly why you feel good when you have sex, eat good food, or socialize with other people. Because without those kinds of activities, it would be really difficult to thrive and reproduce in a society of humans. There's also this little thing called dopamine in your brain, and a lot of people misinterpret it to be a happiness hormone. But in reality, it's more of a doom-scrolling hormone. Of course, not for real, because in reality, it's responsible for desire. Every time you seek to do something so bad you cannot keep yourself from it, for example from scrolling on your phone, or even from eating this sugary snack you wanted to keep yourself from, it's very likely it's because of your dopamine receptors in your brain firing on some sort of cue. This hormone is essentially keeping you going, because without it firing in your brain, you wouldn't really have enough motivation to do anything. We seek money so much because we are aware that without it, we wouldn't really be able to survive in our society. And also, we all know that with enough money, you can be successful and have better chance at having children. This is exactly why you can get so fucking excited after winning a lottery, because you accomplished something which is very good for your survival. But also at the same time, keeping you happy forever isn't really beneficial. It's easy to imagine a monkey which just found a banana, and of course it's happy because it can eat, but after a while, yeah, it just ate it and kept going. So imagine now that the same monkey just found this one banana and was so excited, and not only excited, but stayed happy forever. In fact, this monkey was so happy, it really didn't do anything else from this point on. And of course, a consequence of this action, or rather lack of action, was simply dying. Just swap monkey for a lottery winner and banana for money, and you can see why we are not really happy forever even after this big of accomplishment. But you may wonder, what about those accident victims? How is it possible that even after a big accident, they were just fine compared to normal people? Just let's apply the same logic. Imagine an animal getting wounded. Of course, this animal feels pain, is sad and all of this, but after a while, it just has to keep going. The same is for humans. Of course, we can get depressed, very depressed after experiencing something like this. And of course, there are people who are not able to recover from something like this. But just on average, we as people tend to be really strong and also very good at adapting. So even after a big traumatic event, we can still keep going and enjoy life just like everybody else. Yeah, this may seem a little bit depressing for some people, and of course we cannot change our biology, but we can change how we approach things. People always tend to look up to the next big thing in their lives. You know, they say, once I'll get this, I'll be finally able to do that. And of course, once they get the thing they wanted, nothing really changes. The problem is that when we take into account our biology, we really cannot function like this. In my opinion, it's just a little bit naive to believe that after achieving something or getting some sort of thing we believe will make us happy, we will finally experience freedom of life and endless happiness. This just doesn't exist. At least not in this form. Of course, there are countless ways to achieve happiness, but I believe this isn't one of them. In my opinion, the best way to actually be satisfied with what you're doing is to be satisfied with what you're doing, and not waiting to get some sort of enlightenment after a big boom in your life. From my experience, I can say that simply enjoying the process, enjoying the life you're leading, and not waiting for something magical to happen after you finally get this accomplishment, get this new car, get this new phone. Because the truth is, nothing is going to change. So my advice is, don't postpone your happiness. Simply try to enjoy the process that's leading to the thing you really want. Otherwise, you'll be just chasing the highs and lows of your life. And even with all of those accomplishments, with all of those shiny things in your life, you may never be truly happy with what you have. Of course, I don't say to stop chasing. Actually, chasing after something is good for you, I believe this. If you want to accomplish something, if you're firing up at the thought of this, then this is great. But don't deny yourself happiness now. It's obvious you have to suffer sometimes to accomplish something big, but if you just start to deny yourself happiness at every step in your life, then you'll end up chasing everything and not even being able to tell why you're so miserable even after you achieved so much. And of course, I don't mean to scare anyone, but happiness is pretty much very similar to hunger. You cannot expect yourself to be full all the time if you just eat one big meal at the beginning of the day. You have to eat smaller portions more frequently to avoid hunger. With happiness, you cannot expect to hit this one great thing in your life and just stay happy forever. You have to start small, think about those things which make you happy every day and appreciate them. And even if you're chasing after something, if you have to deny yourself happiness from time to time to achieve your goals, then just remember to stop sometimes, to appreciate what you already achieved, to look around and simply enjoy the process, enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the people you're being with. And this is my advice for today.